Oh my god. Today is the day. Today is the day where we talk about how this little tiny baby right here, how she completely changed my whole entire life. So as you can tell by the title of today's video, today we are going to be talking about how my little tiny baby piece of Moldavite has completely changed my life. This crystal is literally the craziest thing that I've ever spent my money on in my whole entire life, and I would do it 10 times over again if I knew that I got the same result. So if you do like today's video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel right down below if you haven't already. Let me know in a comment down below your thoughts on Moldavite. I know it's a very controversial crystal. Some people hate it, some people love it. Let me know your experience with it in the comments down below. I'm super intrigued. So with all of that being said, I hope that you enjoyed today's video. And if you would like to hear about my first year's experience owning the crystal Moldavite, then just keep on watching. I love her. Mwah. She's the best. So first of all, I quickly just want to give a brief rundown of what the crystal Moldavite is supposed to do for you and the reasons why I did decide to purchase it in the first place. From my own personal research, Moldavite is supposed to be a crystal for alignment. And that's kind of the reason why people have a love-hate relationship with it. Sometimes people purchase Moldavite and invite it into their life without them really truly being ready for an abundance of change in their life, which is ultimately what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to change your life and put you on your right path. And before I did purchase my own little baby Moldavite, I watched so many YouTube videos, I read so many articles. I really did a deep dive into what Moldavite meant and also trying to get an understanding of other people's experiences purchasing and dealing with Moldavite. So I guess a tip that I would have for you is to make sure you do your research. A lot of the YouTube videos that I watched were of people saying that Moldavite is the worst crystal ever and that they wish that they had never got it. It had completely ruined their life. And I don't know, what I think about when I hear that is the fact that whoever they were probably was not ready for a ton of change, and maybe their journey with their Moldavite hasn't completely come full circle yet. So I guess I'll get into the story of why I personally decided to get Moldavite. I just felt really uncomfortable in my life, and it's just really difficult to explain if you have never been in the position and you don't understand what it's like to be living a life that you feel is not supposed to be your own. The girlies who get it, and the girlies who don't won't. I guess I just got to a point where I had had enough. I was doing all the things that I could possibly be doing myself to change my life and put my life on a trajectory that was more aligned to me, but nothing was working, and I was just getting sadder and sadder and just more depressed by the day, by the minute, by the hour. So when I finally hit my absolute rock bottom, I was like, you know what? I've got nothing else to lose. I hated everything about my life, and what I was trying to do to change it wasn't working. So I was like, you know what? Can't get any worse. Let me get it. Hopefully I'll be one of the people that it like helps. A really big tip when purchasing your own piece of Moldavite is to do your research and only shop from sellers that will guarantee you a certificate of authentication. A certificate of authentication. I think that's the word. Because Moldavite is such a crazy crystal and so many people talk about it, there's lots of different websites out there that will rip you off and sell you a crystal that is not Moldavite but claim that it is, just because it is such an expensive crystal and they can charge you lots of money for something that isn't actually Moldavite. So for me personally, I picked this little one mainly because it looks like a love heart, and on the picture on the website they displayed it in an upright position to make it look like a love heart. It was just the one on the website that was calling me the most, and I'm so glad that I got it. I love her so much. So this is what she looks like. As you can see, like if I hold it maybe like this. You can kind of see the love heart. I think it did cost me around $60. I decided when I first purchased this crystal to start a list of everything that kind of changed in my life from the time of getting the crystal up until now. And I'm so glad I did do that, because now I can sit down and like chat with you guys and tell you exactly what happened. I'm gonna start to go through the list of all the things that have changed in my life since purchasing this crystal. And I do want to note as well that because this crystal is a crystal of alignment, not everything is going to be great. And I definitely knew that when going into purchasing this crystal. There were some things in my life that I was holding on to, past relationships with people and things that I just really, really, truly wanted to work out, but I knew at the end of the day weren't aligning with me and who I am. I truly do think that this crystal helped me let go of those situations and find my self-love and self-worth in the things that I enjoy now day to day. So I'm definitely not sitting here saying that I lost nothing and everything was peachy keen. I did lose a lot of things in the process, which was really difficult and tough. And I did go through a lot of really, really shitty things to ultimately end up here where I am today. But again, I'd do them all over again to be able to get to where I am today. So the first thing that I wrote down is that I won $590. Doesn't necessarily have to do with the crystal, but I won $590 on a football game. I know nothing about football. Next on the list is 5,000 views on a YouTube video. And this one was super important for me to write down because, as you guys know, my YouTube channel is something that I have forever and always felt aligned with. And the fact that a video did really, really well made me feel like I was moving in the right direction. So the next one that I wrote down says that one of my streams of income was starting to pick up and do really, really well, which again was beneficial for me because the more that my like side hustle income streams were to grow, the more I felt like I was taking little tiny steps closer to quitting my hospitality job. So the fact that I was noticeably making extra money from my little side hustle things, it just really felt like life was kind of saying to me like, you can do this, come on, just work a little bit harder, focus more on these little side hustles. And the more time you focus your energy on that, the more that the things that aren't aligned with your life can like say later. The next one I wrote down was a collaboration with Zaffle on my YouTube channel, which meant the whole entire world to me. I love that collab. If you guys haven't seen that video, then I will definitely make sure to link it in an iCard up the top. Zaffle is a really well-known brand and they contacted me and wanted to gift me some clothes to make a video about. So the next thing that I wrote down on my list is that my relationship ended. I really don't want to get into too much of that. I'm trying not to talk about my personal life online anymore. Me and my last partner are still completely fine. We talk every so often. We're adults, we're mutual about the situation. But that relationship definitely was something that we both knew was just not gonna work out. But at the end of the day, there was a reason why it wasn't working, and we're just two very different people. And my life didn't align with hers, her life didn't align with mine, and that's a really big reason as to why I wrote it down. We just weren't aligned, using that same word again, because that's what this crystal is all about. Things didn't work out, and that is completely okay. So moving on to something else a little bit more fun, I got a collaboration with Bondi Sands, which was a really, really big deal for me. Again, in moving me forward in the career that I feel most aligned with. Take a shot every time I say the word aligned in this video. I've been using Bondi Sands. That's the self-tanner that I use all the freaking time. I don't have it on today, but when the weather's warm and I'm wearing shorts and little t-shirts all the time, Bondi Sands. I have it on me 24/7. So the fact that they reached out to me and wanted to send me stuff and wanted to work together, it was just like so special to me. Another one is another collaboration, H2O coconut water, which is literally a brand that I walk past at the shopping center. Like, they sell this shit in Coles. Like, that's crazy to me. It was really special, and I feel like a lot of these opportunities were coming all at the same time. I don't know. It's a little bit crazy. that they were just all happening at the same time. From that first paid brand deal, it was a UCG, I think is what they're called. It's where the brands reach out to you and you create content for them, but you don't actually have to post it yourself. The brand just takes the video that you created and that is now their content and they share it on their social platforms. I created a relationship with the brand, which the brand is called Tammy. They're an LGBTQ plus dating app, which fits my niche completely. And since then, they message me every couple weeks, every month or so, and ask me to work with them again and create more content for them, which is something that I'm really, really proud of. I now have a relationship with a company that I really, really love and a company that is super easy to work with. Like, I love working with them. My TikToks started doing really well again after months of them not performing really well. I did $2,000 in website sales in 2 days. TikTok blew up my small business. And that was a really big thing to happen to me in my life. And it really pushed me into trusting in myself and to eventually quitting my hospitality job. If that TikTok didn't blow up, I don't think I would have had the confidence in myself to quit my hospitality job. And I feel like I probably still would be working there to this day, which if I think about too hard, we will have a mental breakdown. So let's not. It seems silly to say, oh, my TikTok went viral, but like the mental switch that allowed me to have and the confidence it gave me in myself and in my ability to do what I do well and for people to love the stuff that I do, it completely transformed the way that I thought about everything. I also started therapy, which is one of the best decisions I've ever made. And I'm also getting my therapy for free, which was a really big reason as to why I hadn't looked into going before, because therapy is expensive. Unless you've been through some trauma, then you get it for free. Relating starting therapy back to the Moldavite crystal, therapy really helped me to learn and continues to help me to learn about my mental state and why I react to certain situations the way that I do. And it's helped me kind of sort through and go through different relationships that I've either had or currently have in my life now. Therapy has definitely helped me to feel more aligned mentally and with the relationships that I have with people or don't have with people. So moving on to a couple of things that have happened a bit more recently. I've started taking my small business to markets, which has been really, really good in boosting not only sales, but my social media platforms and just everything as a whole. It's also helped me meet some really amazing people and also like-minded people. I now have a bunch of different friends who are also business owners who I can actually relate to and have in-depth conversations with about things that I'm genuinely interested in. Starting doing markets has been one of the best things for not only my business, but also my connections and relationships with people who again are a bit more aligned to the type of lifestyle that I ultimately want to live and am living currently. How crazy. Anyway, I also have some items in an in-person store now, which you guys already know if you've watched my vlogs. That's super exciting. And again, adds another income stream into the list of things that I do now to continue to help me live this life. So the very last thing that I wrote down says, I went from feeling so unaligned that it was uncomfortable. And that I feel like is the best way to describe it. I was waking up every day with so much anxiety because I just felt so uncomfortable in my own body, if that makes sense. Like I felt like I wasn't living my life. It wasn't what I was supposed to be doing. It was just so uncomfortable and there's just no other way to describe it. I don't know. I've spoken about it a lot in previous videos, but this life is the life that I have always felt the most drawn to. Working for myself, having my own business, doing social media, it's all I've ever wanted to do since I came out the womb. Those are a few of the things that have happened to me over the past year and a bit of owning this incredibly powerful crystal. I feel like I might get questions on where I keep it or if I wear it or anything like that. I did decide to put this crystal in my office, which is also my living room. So it's kind of in the main space that I spend the majority of my time day to day. So yeah, I don't know. I've just kept it up there Sometimes I think about it, some days I don't. You know what's really funny? From just holding that in my hand, just for that amount of time that I've been holding it talking to you guys, my hand feels so warm, which is something that happens when you hold this crystal and when you talk about it and believe in it. It was so funny, I just noticed that midway through talking to you guys. I was like, my hand is feeling really hot, like what's the go? And this hand is really, really cold. Again, I am so incredibly happy that I got it. I wouldn't change a thing, even though through having it, you know, I've gone through breakups, friend losses, really, really difficult times. When I first quit my hospitality job, I was struggling to pay the rent. And it still is not super, super easy, but I think with time and hard work, things will just continue to get better. And I mean, I don't want to fully accredit everything to the crystal because I do put in a lot of hard freaking work. I don't know, I think the crystal just gave me something to believe in, even if I wasn't thinking about it 24/7, it was constantly in the back of my mind. So with all of that being said, I think that's where I'm gonna leave this video. I feel like it's probably pretty long by now. So yeah, if you have any questions or anything, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. Once again, if you did like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new and want to stick around to see all of my future uploads, then please don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I love you all very much, and I will see you all very, very soon.